I've never wished that I filmed myself live reacting to something more in my life. Big Brother UK 2025 episode 9, it was time for nominations. By the way, I have rested my voice all day for this moment, and this is the best I can do. This is serious. Faizula nominated George because he's combative. Surprise, surprise. She also nominated Tate because he's laugh, but she says that he never cleans, which is interesting because he nominated somebody else for not cleaning. When George apologised to Sam the other day, I honestly thought that his apology was genuine, but after the night we see that it wasn't, because he says, I don't want to have to tiptoe around people, and that he didn't even think that what he said was that bad. And actually, if anything, it was the wrist action and the impersonation more than anything. He voted for Elsa and he says, what does she stand for? What? Tate voted for Cameron and Jenny because he says that Jenny doesn't clean. Caroline voted for Elsa because she needs to join in more, and Nancy because she doesn't clean up. Listen, I'm not a tidy person, right, but I would pick up my balls in that after me. But is it so hard to say to somebody, are you just going to fucking leave that plate sitting in that table, you bogging bastard? I don't know, like, it's not really that difficult to communicate, is it? Marcus voted for Sam and Zila because he feels like they don't really have banter, he doesn't really get to know them. Sam voted for George, no explanation required. He voted for Marcus because he says it was too hot. And Big Brother accepted that. Now, what I don't get is when they're in there nominating for hours, right? So that's Big Brother saying, like, give a reason, give a good reason, like, that's the conversations that they have, right? So you're trying to tell me that Big Brother accepted a nomination for somebody because they're too hot? Fuck off. Tasia voted for George, we've seen that coming, and Tate because it's just surface level conversation. Zila voted for Cameron B because he feels as if he was playing a game with the whole Richard situation. And Marcus, the two of them have obviously got mutual feelings for each other, and that is that they don't really talk. Nancy voted for George because he's got no empathy, and Cameron K because she thinks he's boring. Well, she's going to be fucking raging when she comes out and finds out that he's had more screen time than her. Cameron B voted for George because he's damaging the team, and Cameron K. Now, I love Cameron K, but I do agree with what Cameron B said. Other people were getting more hassle for taking eyeballs, and nobody said anything to Cameron K. Cameron K hasn't shared his eyeballs either. So, I do agree with him. And then Richard done face-to-face noms, which I much prefer. So he nominated Cameron B because of like the eyeball situation. And Elsa, he wanted rid of Elsa last week anyway, right? So I wasn't really that surprised. But it's Elsa's reaction, and I know she's only 21. I need to keep that in mind. But it's the way she like storms off, like, you had to nominate somebody as well. That's part of the game. Don't get me wrong, if I was up for nomination in the house, I would probably cry. But I would maybe cry and be like, do you know what, I know I'm upset, like, I know that it's part of the game, I'm just like, just ignore me, I'm just upset. I wouldn't storm off and make like a pure fucking issue it. What was very disturbing to me is that when Elsa voted, she voted for Cameron B, and she says, oh, I don't like he tells like sexual jokes or whatever, right? Okay, fine, we haven't seen any of that. That doesn't mean to say it's not happening. But she was saying that Jenny is clinging on to Marcus because she knows that they're not seeing each other anymore, and she knows what she's doing, kind of thing. It's very worrying. It's very, very worrying behaviour. Let's just flip the situation again for a second. If Marcus had her issues and asked her how many people she'd slept with in Ibiza and asked if she'd been tested and all that, first of all there would be an uproar because it's a man slut shaming a woman. But then she's voting for Jenny because she thinks that she's clinging on to him even though she's got a boyfriend. It's coming across as possessive. It's not good. Obviously she's going to get away with it though because she's a woman. Jenny says that George rams his opinion down your throat. Ada says, oh, by the way, did you see him calling me love? He's lucky I never fucking stuck the head on him. And Elsa because of the way she spoke to Marcus when she was drunk. Cameron K voted for Richard and Nancy, and he says that Nancy doesn't include him in group chats, and it's as if like she doesn't even look at him. Big Brother was revealing who was up for nomination, and obviously Richard was up because he was cursed. Then when Big Brother says the other housemates, and Elsa was like, housemates? housemates. Did you think it was only going to be one person? It pisses me off every single time when they're being told who's up for nomination. They're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Somebody's got to be up. I'd see the point if it was like Zeal or something, you'd be like, oh my god, who voted for him? But sometimes they just take it too far with the fake reactions. I'm literally losing my voice to the max here. I've tried to record this bit like 10 times already. But up for nomination is Richard, George, Cameron B and Elsa, and it's vote to save. It might surprise a lot of people when I tell you this, and I haven't done it yet. The decision isn't final, but I think I'm actually going to vote for George to stay. The reason is, he took it with grace, right? Oh, I was expecting it, I found people up in the house, somebody's got to be up, right? Great. He's in the diary room. I hope I don't go, I bring something to the house that nobody else brings to the house. Again, it's true, and a lot of us might not like what he's got to say, but a lot of people in the UK unfortunately do share his opinions. Plus, he's going to be winding up a lot of the housemates. He's going to be winding me up. It'll give me something to rant about. And I have to be completely honest with you here. I want Elsa to go. And I was on the phone to my friend tonight, and he says that he's voted for Elsa to stay. No comment. Let me know in the comments who you're voting to stay. Listen, I'm not going to vote for George because I like him, but I do agree he brings something to the house. He's a bit different, do you know what I mean? He's going to cause some arguments. And do you know what? He might even take it as far with somebody and he'll end up getting chucked out anyway. So after George was saying, look, I don't know what else is about, he's probably sat and thought, do you know what? Maybe I've not actually took the time to ask her. So he was sitting saying to her, like, what's your goals in life? And she says, have a farmhouse and horses and 5 kids. And then he's like, oh, don't change. Like, that's really unusual and stuff. And I was like, whoa. 5 kids, holy fuck. Right, so let's fucking get down to it. Earlier on the day, somebody had sent me a DM and says, do you know what Caroline's did in the house? Apparently she's in trouble. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen any clips. So they just sent me the clip of her getting called to the diary room. And you know what? I didn't even think it was going to be that bad. I genuinely wish I had recorded myself watching this. I was sitting taking notes. And when she said the first thing, I was like, oh, that was quite bad. Then when she said the second thing, I actually went, my pen went flying. I thought, oh my god, I'm going to get ink all over my bed covers. I need to see people's live reactions. You know how you get people that stream it for like people in America and that? Oh my fucking god. My pal sent me a picture because they watched it an hour after me. When it happened, I voice noted them and I says, you wait till you see what happened. I messaged every single person I know that watches it and I was like, are you watching Big Brother? Are you watching Big Brother? Are you watching Big Brother? I was trying to keep my voice rested all day. I was like so fucking shocked. So they were playing like whatever questions she was asking, and she said to Zila, if you had a cock, what would you do with it? Now, I was just under the impression that he did have one, to be honest. And I never questioned it. So I don't know if she actually asked him if he had one or not. So then she says to Nancy, if you were stuck on an island and you had to shag anybody and make babies, who would it be, right? So I didn't think that her question was that bad because she was saying like to make babies, like to repopulate the world, right? And Nancy was saying, oh, does it have to be a man? And then when they says, oh, she's pansexual, like they were making out as if it was like the most offensive thing, right? But she likes men. So it's not as if what she was saying was that bad. It was just the fact that she says, oh, you fancy pans, because she was drunk, she was being a stupid dick. So then when Nancy said Zila and she says, but she's a girl, I was fucking... I've watched Big Brother, right? I've watched all the Big Brothers. I've watched the African one where the guy slaps the woman. I've seen that her with the bottle. Remember the bottle? I've seen it all. And this was it. This was like, what the fuck? I watched Big Brother under 18s, remember that? This was the worst. Caroline ended up getting a formal warning, and I'm surprised they didn't just put her out the house. Now, I didn't really understand why Nancy was so upset about the whole situation, but I felt so bad for Zila, like, what the fuck? Let me know in the comments who you're voting to keep. I think I'm going to make a separate video about this situation at some point because it was just so fucking insane. And I'll see you again tomorrow. No, in fact, I might see you the next day because I'm not well. Bye.